I'm really honored to be here with you. It seems like you're someone who, like one of our most involved members. I was seeing your profile on Mighty Networks, and you're like one of the top members. So I think that's beautiful.
Oh, didn't know.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
So my first question, we're going to start with getting some insight into the beginning of your spiritual path. because that's always really nice
Mhm.
to know, like as a context.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what questions or yearnings were you experiencing in your life that led you to seek a deeper spiritual path?
Well, if my spiritual path started when I was quite a bit younger, quite a
Hmm.
few decades ago, but it continued with Evolution 1 as when I saw a seal do a transmission by chance on YouTube, I think. And that's when something new hit me because I was still searching up till that point for just the right combination to allow my anxiety to be less or to know my full purpose or something like that. And it wasn't until I found a seal and realized that there's a body of work that I could be involved in that it really it just opened my heart so much more than I ever thought would be possible.
So, did you expect to find it in this way? Like, well, maybe I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking more about the format of channeling and transmissions. Like, was that something that you knew about beforehand,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
was it the first time you heard about it?
No, I have done my own channeling and been aware of transmissions from others for a long, many couple, 2 or 3 decades. But this was the first time it was really impactful. Like I felt like I was able to embody something in a new way. So I really merged my guidance system with what Asil was helping us with in the Elohim and the Emmanuel transmissions. Yes.
Hmm. So this was
Yeah.
early days, right? This was what, like, how many years ago, approximately?
When I first started with
With a
Evolution 1,
seal, yeah.
2023.
Okay. Okay. And is there the way that you perceive the work, has it shifted from then versus now?
Yes, yes, it has. Yes, it has shifted a great deal. At first, I was just exploring and learning and, just more cautious and not sure of how deep I wanted to go in some of the work to now just fully embodying it and letting the love radiate through me and to others and with others. This love of creation is just so powerful in my life. It sometimes brings me to tears just the level of joy that I can feel from this work and continuing the practices.
Yeah, I feel that it's like at first you're a bit more in your mind, right? You're like,
Mhm.
oh, what is going on? Like, why is there so much silence? Like,
Yeah.
and then the more you start experiencing these transmissions, the more also your energy kind of like attunes to the
Yes.
energy of the guides, and you start to feel comforted and like at home in a way. I don't know if you experience it the same
Yes.
way.
I do. I can relate to that because it is like coming home first to myself and then to the divinity and what the guides are offering us is just exquisite. I haven't found anything, and I've been around the block with the spiritual communities for a number of years, and they've all had their part in helping bring me to this exact point in my life or this present moment where now it's all about embodiment and allowing the alignment to just take place.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I guess it's all really unexpected, right? Like when we're in this
Yes.
path, there's so many surprises and
Mhm.
things that you didn't expect. But I'm interested in knowing, is there something that surprised you the most about your own evolution since starting this journey?
Yeah, I think it would be the synchronicities that are so much more prevalent in my experience. The synchronicities of being able to manifest or becoming that conscious creator of wanting to be the best I can and to allow the love of creation to flow through me. as powerfully as possible. And that really surprised me how soft and peaceful that is. Yeah, the anxiety that I used to carry, or the desire to find something new or keep doing, has really just dissolved into just being. It's such a lovely place to live from.
Yeah. Do you think that has something to do with also being in service and just knowing that that alone is enough? And so, like, all
Mhm,
other
mhm.
anxieties kind of fade away.
Right, because the anxiety came from, construction or constricted blockages of thinking I had to do something, or thinking,
Mm.
or moving in a way that wasn't aligned with being. So once I started, and the practices also, all of there's so many in Evolution One to help you along the way, whether it's the breathing or the dietary changes or just the meditations, and continuing every day to stop and be still and quiet, it just allowed this love to keep moving through me. And it actually took over all of those limitations, and brought me into a different place.
Yeah. So, regarding the practices,
Mhm,
is there one or two that you can think of that you think have had the most impact? Like, it can
mhm.
be a transmission, it can just be like a practice, like whatever you can think of.
Well, there was a transmission. Well, when Seal in October, I think of this last 2024, he actually came to Sedona with Crystal, and they had a weekend event, and that was the first time I got to meet them in person, and that was very impactful for me. It really opened my heart to my own self more than anything. And I don't know if it was the physical contact or just my realizing that what I was seeing on a Zoom call or in a transmission was actually physically happening. And it was the same quality and integrity that I felt from them. And so that really, I felt I loved myself more after that weekend. And that was a real turning point for me. But I'll say, I mean, every single time I've been with one of the workshops or series, something amazing has happened in that, and in that has changed my perspective of my life and my purpose.
Mm. Can you think of a specific shift that you've experienced, like a moment in your life where you
Hmm.
like felt that shift?
Well, I can view it from, being in the present. It's kind of hard to go back into a past event, but I can do a feeling that shifted for me, and that's from how I handle my world now, how I see people now. I mean, I
Mm.
don't have the judgments, or I'm not interested in the judgments. I can see the beauty of everybody's journey, and not think that it has to be my way, or that it should be a different way. It's so I think that is, and then my friends give me feedback, which is good. It's like, wow, what are you doing? You're really different. And because inside of me, I don't really see it, or I just feel me.
Mhm.
And so I don't really know the journey as well as others who reflect to me, or I'm in a situation where I used to get triggered. I just don't have there are times things come up because I still am learning and growing in releasing any constrictions in my body or my mental apparatus or my heart. But it doesn't it's hard for me to say because I just being me, so it's it's more of just an enjoying of life, and whatever comes up, I don't fight with. I allow it
Mm.
to come into my world, and I don't judge it, you know. So that's those are the two keys I found have
Yeah, that's
really helped,
amazing.
really helped me. Makes life a lot more fun.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes it so much lighter, right? You
Hmm.
don't take
Hmm.
yourself as seriously,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of a paradox, right? Because you're doing inner work and you're focusing on yourself, but by doing that, you kind of release the grip that you have on your own self.
Absolutely. And then the guidance system is just, like I said, synchronicities. You know, I hear the voice of my own higher self when I'm off. You know, if the alignment's off or it's, you know, I'm starting to put too much mental energy into something and looking for an outcome, it's like, oh, now I can back up. I have all the tools from Evolution One that I need to stop, meditate, do a transmission, just rest, breathe, you know, whatever it is, do a yoga class. There's always something that I can do to realign. I'm not upset when I'm out of alignment either, because that is all part of the growth that I find in myself. It's just like I just know how to get back. That's the most important thing for me.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
wisdom,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
knowing you everything is shifting constantly, and even the so-called negative states are all just part of the whole
Mhm.
play and the whole game.
That's right. That's right. It's quite a world we live in down here.
Yeah. Can you just talk a little bit about how this has impacted your personal relationships?
Yes, they're much more loving. I have, they're more enjoyable. I have more time that I give in listening to what someone else is saying instead of interjecting my own mental thoughts into the conversation. And it's a flow. It's more flow. Now, there are relationships that just didn't fit anymore as well. And that's part of the flow. There's just I don't hang around a lot of negativity by choice. You know, I mean, I don't mind someone who's negative and working through something. That's understandable. But I find myself just navigating to more uplifted people. And they come into my world more often too.
Mhm.
So that's the synchronicity piece. Yeah, it has changed everything, everything. I mean, I know that that is some of the things I had read on the website about Evolution One, but it's really true. It's true for me that it has changed everything and how I perceive others and how I perceive myself.
Yeah, that resonates a lot.
Hmm.
Well, speaking of resonating, is there a specific pathway from Evolution 1 that has had the deepest resonance within you?
Hmm. I think that I, I don't know which one it would be because without foundations, I wouldn't have gotten to Pillars of Light or Earth Keepers. And I like the series, the Becoming a Conscious Creator series now. I've been really enjoying that. But as I evolve my own consciousness and rediscover the gifts that I have, each one is gold to me. But yeah, I am enjoying the Becoming a Conscious Creator series. I'm really Earth Keepers 3 was fantastic. I I learned so much more about myself in Earth Keepers than I ever thought I would because it just opened up a whole world of beauty with Gaia and these sites. So, boy, hard to pick one.
Hmm. Yeah. And what about the community? Because I mean, for us, it's really important, the community aspect, but I know that sometimes it's kind of hard to feel connected when we're
Mhm.
all like behind a screen. So I'm
Mhm.
just interested, like, what your experience has been, whether
Mhm.
it's been in person or online.
Yes, most everything has been online. I really like we have those monthly meetups or something. I really enjoyed that where we had the meetups or where we get to talk to each other and because otherwise it's pretty much just an online experience. Although that can be wonderful, it's nice to know something else about a person. It just gives you a deeper connection. And I really like that. I think that they were doing them in, let's see, it was Living Alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would do those. And I attend those and really like having time to talk with others about their experiences as
Mhm.
well. Yeah, that's really important for me. And of
Yeah,
course, we
that's
always
nice.
meet in the field, but it's a different thing. It is nice to have. If there was, if there were more opportunities around me, I certainly would go and visit people who are involved in the same thing I'm doing here with Evolution One. It's
Yeah.
nice. Personal contact is always wonderful, I think.
Yeah. Human interaction
Hmm.
outside of just energy.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that has changed for me the most is I had awareness of the higher realms of the cosmos. It was grounding it in the physical body, and the emotional body, and the mental body that evolution one has really assisted in. It really brought it real for me instead of just kind of floating around in cosmic soup.
Yeah. It's all about the human experience, right?
Hmm.
At the end, we're all still human. So it's important
Yes.
to connect with that part as well.
Yes.
So looking ahead, is there
Mhm.
any aspects of your personal growth and or the community involvement that you're most excited about?
Hmm. Well, I'd like to continue on the level that I've been working with as far as continuing to give of service to that which is before me and in front of me. And I don't see that my commitment or involvement with Evolution One community will change. It will only grow. I mean, that's kind of how I sense it. And I don't know how that looks, but it feels really good that, there's more for us to do as earth keepers and pillars of light and service. I think the world is only coming closer to us in needing our services and us being available for others to find the kind of love and support have found. I
Mm,
wish that for everyone. So I'm of service for sure.
beautiful. And then lastly, last question. What would you share with someone who's just beginning their spiritual journey?
Congratulations on starting a spiritual journey because it will bring you places if you allow it that you will never ever doubt that you are made of love and you're here to love. And if you're involved in Evolution One, do take advantage of all of the areas, the breathing exercises, the dietary not requirements, but options that you could have, the meditations to stay with it, and know that you are held by your own higher self, your own guidance system, and you've got this. It's going to be up and down. There's roller coasters of heaven. It's life, life in the human form. But there's support for you, and there are many of us cheering you on. That's what I would say.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really hope a lot of people can hear that.
I hope so too. I know it's going through the ethers and hopefully
Mm,
through uh, the video as well.
yeah, that really struck deep.
Mm.
Well, thank you. Is there anything
Well,
else you want to
yes.
mention?
No, Sophie, I've just really enjoyed this. I resonate a lot with obviously with Evolution One, and I look forward to continuing to expand whatever role I have. I mean, that I think the one most wonderful thing is I don't have to be anywhere or do anything to have this expanding for all of us. Yeah, and that's what I love about the seal and the guides. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was really great to meet you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Mhm.